What's going on, everybody? We back another Thursday, man. Thursday. Someone could call it Ducking Thursday, but it is Thursday tomorrow, Friday Night Lights. For some. I'm going to talk about that a little bit, but Friday Night Lights, man, coming up. We're up on week 4. We halfway through right now the season. So right now we're in week 4, 8-game regular season. So we're 50% there, halfway. Yeah, I want to thank the people that make this possible. And shout out Coldwell Banker, Coastal Homes, Mark Wright. You're looking to buy your home. Let it be a presidential award winner. Give Mark Wright a call today. Big shout out to 401 Strength and Fitness, Emerson Kilgore. You're looking to move on to the next level. Definitely give Emerson a call. Shout out to our guys over there at Voice Sports. Check out our Tuesday night show. And now we're streaming live on Twitter as well. Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. And I just got everything set up with Caffeine TV. So now we'll be on Caffeine pretty soon. But we're going to bring in our guy, Uncle Felix. You all know him. Everyone's favorite uncle. Let's bring in Uncle Felix. What's going on? How we doing today?
Not bad. What's up, Mikey?
Slow motion, better than no motion. Just another day. Yeah, I mean, what's going on with you?
Nothing much. Just came back from Bishop Hendricken. Watched my son's practice. They had like a little dinner tonight. Their homecoming is tomorrow. As you know, they'll be taking on the number 1 team in Massachusetts, Catholic Memorial. Should be an epic game, epic battle tomorrow.
Yeah, Catholic Memorial. They played very well against LaSalle. Who had a good game that game? Dean. Shout out Dean. Shout out his family. He had a good game. I think he had a couple touchdowns that game. I forgot the exact stats, but kid's a hell of a quarterback over there at LaSalle.
Yeah, no, he does his thing. He's definitely a top quarterback in the state. Great arm.
So now we got Catholic Memorial, Bishop Hendricken, gonna go head to head. How are you feeling going into that game?
Well, I got to break down a lot of film there. As you know, my son plays on Bishop Hendricken, and I also do the stats for them, so I get to see a lot of their film. I got to see the Catholic Memorial film when they played LaSalle. Um, it's going to be a battle. Hendricken is playing at home, so that's a plus. Um, I mean, this thing should. I think it will be closer than the LaSalle game. Um, but we'll see because I think their strengths, which is their wide receivers, uh, play to our strengths, which our D line, our defensive front, our cornerbacks are going to do well. I think at the end of the day, Catholic Moore is going to have a little bit more trouble scoring on us than they did against LaSalle. The question is going to be is can we move the ball on them, to keep up pace with what their offense can do. So we'll see. I think it's going to be a very close game.
And one announcement I want to make tomorrow at Pilgrim. This week Pilgrim lost one of their alumni, Leroy Manitou. So tomorrow they're going to have a moment of silence. Tonight, the coaching staff and volunteers are putting stickers on all the helmets. Rest in peace to Leroy Manitou. Real nice guy. Been in the Warwick community for a long time. So they're going to have a moment of silence. So if you're from the Warwick area, you might want to get over there, check that out. One second, Felix. Go ahead, say hi.
Hi.
Hello.
All right, yeah. So if you're gonna be in the Pilgrim area, definitely get over to Pilgrim High School. They're gonna have a moment of silence. Rest in peace to Leroy Manitou. But yes, I just wanted to make that announcement. I thought that was pretty nice of Coach Blake. Wow, I'm
Yeah,
busy right
yeah.
now.
At the end of the day, we always things like that always put things back into perspective.
Yeah, definitely. We're gonna get over to sorry, my daughter, but we're gonna get into the
No worries.
first we'll get into your top three from last week, and then we'll start talking about some of the games. You added a new category this week. Let me actually put it up here. Give me 1 second. You added a new category this week. Defense.
No, nope. That's always been there.
Oh, I thought you
I
just
just
did
I did
the
change it.
offensive
Yeah.
players. Oh, okay.
No, I did offense, and I do strictly DBs. Then I changed that to defensive players, so that way the linebackers and D linemen get a chance to get in there.
All right, there we go. We see Rhode Island ranked. Definitely follow Rhode Island ranked if you don't already. Over 900 followers. Congratulations! I seen your little. You're really working hard over there at Rhode Island ranked. And people think it's easy though. It's not easy.
No, it's really not. It's really not. But it's fun at the same time. I don't mind it at all.
It definitely is. So get over there to Rhode Island ranked. Check that out. So let's check out your video. Here we go. All right, you can explain it. This is
Which one's this? This is the top
Let's
defenders.
see. Yes, this is the top defenders. It looks
Yeah,
like
my
you
top three
have.
performers this week. I had Brandon Duran from Hendricken, who's arguably probably the best all-around player in the state. He's getting a lot of, you know, attention from some Power Five schools, but he's also committed to Kentucky for baseball. So it's going to be interesting to see what he does at the next level. Will he forget about football? Will he play both? Will he play football? We shall see. Over at LaSalle, they had Jamison Jarvis had a huge game against Cumberland. He had a bunch of tackles, double digits in tackles. I believe he had a pick six for a touchdown. Uh, he played very well. Then over at Barrington, there we have what's his name? There it is.
Ben
Ben.
Patzik.
He played very well. He actually had the pick six for a touchdown there, and there went over Tolman. He was crucial in that. So these guys, they rounded up my top three. All played very well. Congratulations to them.
Nice. And before we get into our new video, I seen your investigation this week. Was a hot dog a sandwich or what?
The it's come back that yes, the hot dog is a sandwich.
I thought a hot dog was a hot dog till you put it in a bun. But I said, nah, it's a hot dog. What do you mean? Is it a sandwich? It's a hot dog. But yeah, you have a lot of fun over there on your Facebook page at times. I noticed
Hey,
you
if
were
you're not
pointing out
if you're not
how
having fun,
many.
why bother?
That's right. You pointed out how many Rhode Island players we actually had. Man, you really doing your homework.
Yeah, it's fun. I love history. I'm a big history buff, so I love looking up stuff like that. Rhode Island, we get the knock all the time in Rhode Island that do they play football? Or we don't put out enough good product. But if you actually look at our history, we actually do put out a lot of product. Considering how small this state is, and so I just wanted to remind people of that. Have the kids have some fun on my page, have them see some of the players from way back in the day, who actually did make it to the NFL. I
Yeah,
think today I
definitely.
posted a couple. Sherry, there who's the tight end he was actually drafted in the sixth round by the Cincinnati Bengals. He was a Bishop Hendricken grad, and then the other guy there, I think his name was Lou Abruzzi or Duke Abruzzi. He's out of Warren. He played for actually the Boston Yanks, who were part of the NFL back in 1946, and he wore number 20 there.
Okay, yeah, we're looking at the page right now, and a lot of people don't know about the Steamrollers.
Yeah, yeah.
We had Providence Steamrollers, and the Steamrollers won, I think, the first two championships in that division right before the NFL. I think they beat the Packers, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, the other day I posted something a lot of people were actually um, didn't know, we had the first quarterback for the Chicago Bears was a Rhode Island high school football player. His name, I think, was Parson Pratt, something like that. It was a funny name, but that's pretty cool to say that the first ever quarterback for the Chicago Bears in 1920 was actually from Rhode Island.
Yeah, we also had another
And
guy that went to LaSalle. He grew up in Westerly. I got his name written down, but yeah, he went on to play for a few teams. The Cardinals was originally a Chicago team. The
mm,
Chicago Cardinals. This was way before the NFL, and then they merged with the AFL. Yeah, a long, long time ago. But let's get into your top three wide receivers this week. First, we
yep,
have
top three
Johnston High
receiver
School, Joey Achado.
Joey Achado. He had a monster game, including a 90-something yard catch for a touchdown, which I actually posted the video from. Um, so he had a monster game, and that they beat actually North Smithfield. And for my number two there, I had Andrew Nolan, who actually returned to action for Bishop Hendricken. He only played the first half of the East Greenwich game because it ended up being a blowout. But in that first half, he picked up 6 catches for over 100 yards. I mean, so he picked up right where he left off for last season. And then on my third receiver there, actually from North Smithfield, wide receiver by the name of Nate.
Tessia.
Yep, Nate Tessia. He had a big game, 170 yards, a touchdown. Also made my highlight reel this week here with a 6-yard catch for a touchdown.
When Nate
So
Tessia came on the podcast this week with Coach Piver,
oh, did
Nate
he?
Tessia, yep, he was our North Smithfield Player of the Week. So shout out to Nate Tessia. He was on Coach Piver. You know, you look at that Johnston North Smithfield game. I heard that was a very competitive game, went back and forth, score for score, all the way
Mm-hmm.
down to the end of the game. So we got the Johnston, Joey Achado you chose as your, and then Bishop Hendricken, somebody that came back to action, Andrew Nolan, which was out there in one of the travel games, if I'm not mistaken. The
Yeah, he
big
missed.
travel
He missed
game.
the Iona. He missed the Iona prep game, and he also missed, I believe, the East game. So this was the East Greenwich game was actually his first game back. He just like Brendan Duran is also committed for baseball. He's actually committed to play at Wake Forest for baseball.
Nice. And then, of course, we already said Nate Tessier, which Nate Tessier, he got hurt last week against Charahoe, with a few of North Smithfield players, and it seemed Nate Tessier popped right back up and was able to get back to action. Now, a lot of people are waiting for the top running backs, man. We still got one more category
Here
after this.
on this one here, I screwed up, and I'm not scared to admit when I screwed up. I left the guy who had the gawkiest stats, the best stats of the day. I left him off the list, and that was my fault.
Well, who would that be before I even comment?
That would be the Westerly running back Tuck.
Zach
He
Tuck.
had he had a great
And
game. I actually had his name written down in my notebook, and then when I came back later to do it, for whatever reason I missed it, and then the other three. Don't get me wrong, that I picked are very well deserving of it, but he probably would have been the number one guy on that list.
well, I actually have Zach Tuck's stats here. In fairness to you, the stats were put in, I think, Monday afternoon, so they did go in a little bit late. But give me a second, and I think Zach Tuck is definitely going to be a household name sooner or later. But Zach Tuck had 9 attempts for 221 yards.
Yeah,
Wesley ran the ball 339 yards that day. So shout out to Zach Tuck. Definitely one of my big players of the week.
yep,
But
he should have been mine. I had a few people inbox me like, "Hey, how come this guy wasn't on there?" And I was like, "Oh my god!" But it happens. I missed it.
so
But the other
Zach
guys are
Tuck,
well
we owe you
deserved.
one, Zach. We owe you one.
Exactly. DeAndre Chase out of West Warwick, he had a big game. He actually rushed for exactly 200 yards. He did it though on 21 carries. He also had a big game on defense, a couple of sacks. So again, he was well deserving. Um, and then we had the kid from LaSalle there, James L Lasseter. He ran 100, about 120 yards, a couple of touchdowns against Cumberland. And then Nick Bacala, who's no stranger to the list. Last year he made it a few times. And, this year he's off and running now. He put up some big numbers too this week.
Bacala.
Bacala, coolest name in football.
I know it. The Bacala. Give it to the Bacala. Coach Cook this week, radio silence from what I understand, Coach Cook. He's really anticipating a lot of this smoke going on in Division 4. Speaking of Division 4, we definitely will get into that. But Zach Tuck, we definitely owe you one. Shout out to you, Zach Tuck. And congratulations to all the guys making the list. Shout out to the Lasseters too. I'm always excited to see a Lasseter playing great football. And of course, his top quarterbacks, he had to give it to number 12, Tom Brady, as the picture shows right here. But let's get into your top quarterbacks, Felix.
Yes, as actually we saw how Chado made the list for receivers. So the guy tossing him the ball, surprisingly made it. Hunter Remington had a big game. He's off to a big season actually. He's got about 800 yards, I believe, through the air already this season. He also uses his legs too. So he's off to a great start. Dean, who you had on the show here before, he had a good game against Cumberland, and also I went with the quarterback from Mount Hope, who played well. I believe he was 8 for 10, and with a couple of touchdown passes, and so he rounded off the list. Honorable mention, who sometimes I think maybe I should have put on the list was the quarterback out of Moses Brown. Had a nice game, very efficient. I believe he was 10 of 13. He threw a couple of touchdown passes, but more importantly, he came up with a big upset there as they picked up a win that nobody saw coming.
I'll tell you what, that Moses Brown game, man, that game caused so much, I think, drama over there at Classical.
I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, no, a lot of people did not see that coming, and that's what happens. But yeah, definitely look out for your name to make Rhode Island ranked top 3 for sure. Uncle Felix does these each week, and defensive players, quarterbacks, running backs, and wide receivers.
What's been great is I've been getting a lot of attention on it, good and bad, which tells me that people are starting to care if they make the list or not. Because I get a lot of messages, hey, this person should have made it, that person should have made it, or they'll send me their stats and this and that. So that's a good sign. It shows me that people are wanting to make the list.
And let them know if their coaches are updating their stats like they're supposed to on Max Preps, they'll see them. So tell them to get on their coaches.
Life would be much easier if I could just go to Max Preps and click there and see stats. But as we always say, not enough coaches are doing that.
Oh yeah, we can get on. I wanted to talk about something, and I've been calling it out for a few weeks. Teams are ducking Uncle Felix, man. They're not ducking you, but it looks like they're ducking their opponents. And I can't call it any other way, except to say that there's a lot of ducking going on right now because you look at some of these games, and I'm not even going to mention the team, but how are you going to call up and say we can't play on a Monday? COVID on a Monday. The game's 4 or 5 days away. You cancel on a Monday, and then you call 5 minutes later and be like, "Oh, but our JV can play." You got enough? Like, really? Shout out to Mike Murray over there at Shea. Shea Raiders, another team getting screwed. Shea is on their second time being ducked.
I think they made the rule. I think they made the rules too lax with the COVID cancellations. I'm not 100% of how the rules work, but from what you were telling me earlier off the air, it sounds like it's too easy to cancel the game. And there's really no consequences in canceling the game. You know what I mean. So, when you have those two things like that, you're gonna get games getting canceled that probably shouldn't be canceled.
Look, I say to my AD, I say, hey, Jimmy, listen, I got two kids that were at Chuck E. Cheese this week, and they had some close contact. Oh, okay, we can't play. We got close contact. You know what I mean? And it's like, and if you look at these games, you look at the teams, how close they are in the divisions. A couple weeks ago, Tolman and Pilgrim, man, that game had to go down. Now, what's going to happen? We're going to have another Mount Pleasant situation. And was it Mount Pleasant and Tollgate last year that had the consolation game? Mount Pleasant didn't have to do that. And they said, let's have a winner take all, get to the
Oh
playoffs.
Mount Pleasant and Tolman. Yep, I remember that.
I mean, me, I'll call a spade a spade. Stop ducking, man, because you know what? And it's starting to get around. And I'm starting to hear it from a lot of other, sources and people. Like, there's no other way. The rules are too lax. You can't play. It's a forfeit. Bottom line. Because if your JVs are good to go, especially in them lower divisions, if your JVs are good to go, but you can't play the game, come on.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully they learn from this. There definitely has to be addressed after the season because, like I said, it's too easy to cancel, and there's no consequences in canceling it. So,
what do you do for a team like Shea that's already down 2 games? You only get 8 games. They're already down 2 games.
It sucks because some of these kids are seniors, obviously, and you're taking away, things that they'll never be able to replace, and you know what I mean. Those are memories of these games that, they're not going to be able to replace.
And coming up soon, we're gonna be on Caffeine TV. Shout out Caffeine for giving us that opportunity. If you don't know what Caffeine TV is, it's pretty much kind of like a YouTube for the streets. A lot of urban stuff going on over there. It's sponsored by Drake, so shout out to Caffeine. You could check us out on Caffeine, and now we streaming live on Twitter, so my son can't ignore me no more. He has to see me. He has to come home and see Daddy. Come home, Eric. All right, but let's get into these games. Go ahead.
Actually, hold on one second.
But yeah. So I mean, too many of these games have not been going on.
I'm back, sorry.
Yeah, nah, it's all good. I could hold it down. But we'll get into the first couple of games. It looks like North Providence, Juanita Sanchez. Ponteganza did put up 50 on Tiverton, but guess what? So did Juanita Sanchez. They put up 44 on Tiverton. Now, North Providence, Juanita Sanchez. I think if the playoffs started today, Juanita Sanchez makes it.
Yeah, and they look strong. They look strong there. They got a tough running back there since Sam Matthews, I believe is his name. He put up some good numbers. Their quarterback did very well last week. They look strong.
What a great name, huh? Sincere.
Yeah. Yeah. His is spelled a little differently, but yeah.
So you like Juanita Sanchez over North Providence?
Yes, sir.
The next game, of course, well, this game isn't going down either. Mount Pleasant High School and Barrington. They're saying this game was rescheduled to October 3rd, but so far, I really don't think I've seen any games rescheduled.
Well,
I heard
hopefully it gets rescheduled.
Well, I don't think you can. There's no room to reschedule these games according to the rules because I think you need so many days in between games before you can have another game. And if you reschedule it to Tuesday, you go Wednesday, Thursday, and then you got a game Friday. Like, hypothetically, if that game against Shea got rescheduled, right? I know we're talking about the Mount Pleasant Barrington game, but if Shea was rescheduled to say Monday or Tuesday, and then they play LaSalle Friday, how would they have the amount of days be able to get that game in? So I don't see these games being postponed at all. Mount Pleasant's down a game now. Barrington is out, and that game should have went down. Barrington's sitting at 3-0. You ducked Mount Pleasant.
Yep.
Did you do your predictions? We're doing the predictions
it's funny
now.
Mount Pleasant. I'm sure they're chomping at the bit to get the taste out of their mouth because they suffered an upset at the hands of West Warwick there. You know what I mean? Shout out to West Pennington. My bad for betting against you. I had Mount Pleasant winning that game, and West Warwick pulled off the upset there.
That's what you get. You know what I mean? I like what I'm seeing over there in West Warwick, and we'll talk about that when we get to their game. But yeah, Mount Pleasant's definitely hungry for that. They had a good game against Coventry, and then all the other stuff happens. They lose to West Warwick, and they wanted to get back out there, so we lost Uncle Felix. I'm sure he'll be back in the house. Definitely leave a comment, but we're doing the predictions right now. I think he picked Juanita Sanchez over North Providence. Guaranteeing that Mount Pleasant or Barrington won't lose, of course, because they're not playing. So what we talk about? We talked about Uncle Felix's top 3 already. We talked a little bit about ducking. A lot of ducking going on. And I didn't come up with that. Like that's going around. That's a lot of other people are talking about that. But while we wait for Uncle Felix, let me see what I got up in here. Check it out. If you want your ad or logo up here, definitely support the show. We could put your ad or logo, and it kind of flashes in and out like this. And check us out on iHeartRadio as well as Caffeine. But if you want your ad or logo up there while we wait for Uncle Felix to get back up in here, definitely. Let's see what else we got going on here. If you're looking to get recruited, give R&R Elite Recruits a call. Ronnie and his team will definitely take good care of you. Big shout out to Mark Wright, a presidential award winner. You're looking to buy a home. Coldwell Bankers, Mark Wright. Tell him, Mikey, Can We Keep It Real podcast. Told you to call him. 787-5203. Shout out to my guys over there at Voice Nation. Oh, and don't forget, tomorrow we're going to be in the house. Mount Hope, Westerly Bulldogs. And guess what? You could watch highlights after the game on NBC 10 at 11 p.m. That's what's up. You know what I mean? And definitely, what do you think about these uniforms? Would you let your team rock these? Leave a comment. Would you let your team rock these uniforms? We're waiting for Uncle Felix. Let me send him another link. But would you let your team rock these uniforms? Let me see. Uncle Felix, what happened? Would you let your team rock these uniforms, man? Good question, right? Let's see. Here we go. Never. He said never. Look at these things. They don't even fit. I'm not even sure who the Facebook user is because if you're in the group, it really don't say your name unless you give StreamYard permission to say your name. But if you're over there on the Can We Keep Real podcast page, then we can see who you are. Go over there and check out our channel on YouTube, Twitter now too. That's what's up, man. If you're over there on Fans Only Sports on Twitter at Can We Keep It Real podcast, welcome. But we're going to bring Uncle Felix back in right now. He probably had to get his Uncle Felix.
Yes.
How would you feel if your son's team came out the building looking like this?
Let's see. That's pretty funny. Oh my Lord. Is that a serious uniform or?
Yeah, that's the uniform. That was the one when you tell them people in Pakistan, we need it in 2 weeks. They say, okay, we got it for you. It's coming. You better send that thing back.
Oh, geez. I almost wonder, was that a mistake or that's what the team ordered?
Oh, that's a mistake. I thought it was the Shriners. when I really thought it was the Shriners. We talked about this on the Voice Sports Edition on Tuesday nights, and you should check that out. We had a dude from Texas on this week that's big in Texas high school football. There's a lot of radio, so maybe we'll be talking to him. But we have some great conversations over there that, that need to be had. But let's get into these games before We lost you. We talked about the North Providence Juanita Sanchez. Somebody asked, did we do the predictions yet? See, people are turning in to listen to the predictions, man. So, SK playing. Let me tell you, Coach Washington, shout out to you. Every coach, go listen to Coach Washington's interview. I wish every coach did their breakdowns that way. This guy went first quarter, second quarter, third, like went over the whole game. It was beautiful. Like he did a very good job. But Central High School, man, a lot of people have them picking up that number 2 seed this season.
Yeah, well, the way that the divisions are broken down, I think they're on the same side as Hendricken. So you know what I mean. So that's going to be a big game coming up there. That'll decide who takes that seed there, the top seed there. But yeah, in my opinion, Central is easily the number 2 seed in that division.
Yeah, no, I don't. Nobody takes the number 1 seed from Hendricken. They're just too strong. And them 2 first games of the season helped them with that. I think they already secured the number 1, unless someone knocks them off. But I don't see anybody knocking them off right now.
Oh, they're going to be tough to beat. You know what I mean? They're going to be tough to beat. We'll see what happens tomorrow against Catholic Memorial. Hopefully, at the very least, hopefully everybody comes out of that game healthy.
You know what's funny? As much shit as people talk about Hendricken, when they got beat a couple of weeks ago against Iona Prep, everybody was making an excuse for him.
Oh yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, I thought people would have been like, yes. People like they got beat, but I'm like, wow, you people, switching up quick. So yeah, I definitely like Central, even though on the road, um, playing that game in SK.
That's South Kingston. Yeah, that should be a good game. I do like. I agree with you. I like with us. I like Central there. Ryan Hazard had a big game for the Rebels last week in SK. I mean, I don't know if you ever seen him run the ball. He's he's built like a tank. That kid. He's tough to bring down. He also dominates on the defensive side of the ball as well. Yeah, great player. Definitely an all-state kid. You know, Central will have their hands full with him, but I think Central just has too much firepower that they should win that game.
Yeah, Central's looking real good. Shout out to the Hazards. I don't know him per se, but I do know the Hazard family growing up with them between Hoffman and Manton Projects. The Hazards, the Pompeys, and so on. But yeah, salute to the Hazards. You know what I mean? But then the next game we already said would have been Shea and Cumberland. Shea, of course, being ducked for the second time this year. Like Shea gets a poor. Like Shea's always getting screwed over.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not 100% sure what's going on with the whole thing. Like I said, I don't like the rules and how easy it is
Oh,
to
they be
back it out.
ducking.
But I'm not ready to,
Oh
to accuse
no.
anybody of
Oh
ducking.
no. Oh, they're ducking. They are ducking. They are ducking. They are ducking, man. Ask around. They're ducking. While you're ducking, I actually got a video. It's Donald Duck. I don't know if you've seen it yet.
No,
Yeah, I
no.
mean, oh yeah, yeah. I got a video out there. I didn't have a chance to upload it yet. But Johnson High School in Narragansett, 2 Division 3 games, 2 teams that'll possibly be in the playoffs down the line.
Yeah, that should be a high powered game. Both offenses are clicking on all cylinders there, so that should be fun to watch. Wow, where is that game being played?
That game will be played at Johnston High School on the turf.
Hmm. As I said earlier, Hunter Remington is playing very well. Um, the running back over there in Narragansett, Fry, he runs the ball very hard. He made a highlight. He made my highlight reel this week here on Rhode Island Ranked. I'm gonna lean towards Johnston here because it's at Johnston, and I think, don't quote me on this. I'm not sure if the quarterback for Narragansett is healthy. I think he might be out.
Oh, I just want to let everyone know: subscribe, subscribe, and I'll send you $1 back. Subscribe. I'll send you $1 back.
Oh boy.
Oh, I love it, man. I love it. Coach is actually getting afraid of that now. Leave that guy alone. But screw that guy. No, but the next game, Bishop Hendricken and Catholic Memorial, they actually didn't even have a team filled in here. Is that because it's not an interscholastic league game?
I believe so. Yeah, it's not sanctioned by RIIL. As a matter of fact, me and another parent were talking about it because we were wondering, why we didn't go with different referees um, for that game because it's not an RIIL game. Um, so no, yeah, that's so. I know, like if you look into the Providence Journal, when you look at the schedule, it says Hendricken versus to be determined. I mean, that's just lazy. That's just
Bro,
lazy work because they could obviously figure out who they were playing.
well, you know what it is. They're not part of the league, so we ain't getting no dues from you. You ain't getting our referees. You ain't even getting our print. We're not even gonna type your name in. My buddies over there at the Rhode Island Interscholastic League, man. I'm
Yeah,
still
but
waiting. I'm still waiting for my banquet ticket.
but that game should be good there. I mean, obviously, a little biased. I'm going to be pulling for the Hendricken upset there. That's for sure.
Oh no, that would be an upset, huh? Because that team's pretty good over there. And
Well,
what
yeah,
are they?
they're the number one team in Massachusetts, arguably the number one team in New England. You know what I mean. So they're loaded. They got a lot of D1 commits there. So it should be a good game. I think Hendricken is actually going to give them all they can handle.
Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Pilgrim and North Smithfield. Now, the beginning of the year, North Smithfield went on the edge.
Mm-hmm.
They went on the limb, and they really wanted to play Pontiganset, but the injury fund didn't happen. Everybody had their teeth out for Pontiganset since that article in the Journal said they could beat most D2 teams. Just saying. Um, But North Smithfield, then they said the next game that they really want to play because it's Pilgrim.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out Blake Simpson over there. That game, they're going to have a moment of silence for Leroy Matador. Rest in peace, and respects to his family. I know his brother Stevie Matador pretty well. But I like what Coach Pive is doing at North Smithfield, and going against Coach Blake coming off, upset not being able to play a week ago. And what do you think about that game?
Should be a good game. I like Pilgrim. Connor Widmer is off to a fantastic start for the Patriots. Um, I believe 2 weeks in a row he made my top three quarterbacks. Last week they didn't play, so he didn't get a chance to make it. So we'll see if he can make it 3 for 3 this week.
Connor Winmer was actually one of our players of the game last week. Before that, we had Brady Burke. I love what Coach Blake is doing with
Yeah,
the
he's done a
with
great
the
job. He's done
team.
a great job.
Great job. I wish more coaches, put in the work that he put in. Brand new uniforms this season, and we all know Warwick ain't giving him much.
Mm.
You know what I mean? They don't give him much. So all the fundraising he does, bingo. Come on. Bingo. You could go play bingo with Coach Blake. Shout out Coach Blake, man. Good dude. You play bingo?
Yeah, bingo's fun. Why not?
See? Coach Blake has bingo. Like, who is having bingo right now?
No,
Pilgrim is.
they even got high stakes bingo over there at Foxwoods.
Did you ever, if you ever go down Warwick Ave, they had, I think, what they have? Drag bingo. And for a while, I thought it was drag bingo. Like, I thought you had to be, I didn't know. Like, I used to drive by up Elmwood Ave and I see drag bingo. And I was like, drag bingo? Like, we
Yeah,
can't,
that would throw me off too. I'm not sure what they mean by drag bingo.
I think it's you drag the window, maybe. I don't know.
Who knows?
Who knows? But or you get dragged down the street when you lose. Mount Hope Westerly. Now Westerly putting up good numbers through the air, threw the ball 7 times. Zach Tuck running. We talked about that earlier. 200 and something yards. Westerly putting up almost 500 yards against Rogers. Their defense has been doing very, very well.
Yeah, they're humming over there in Westerly, and I don't see that stopping. So I got to go with Westerly on this one.
I like what their line coach is doing. Shout out Coach Najee Barrows. He's got he's the energy. He really is the energy up in Westerly. He runs that Beast Coast football academy, I think it is, and like you see him, he's loud. His energy, no matter you hear Najee, no matter where you are on the field. And I don't know what Mount Hope has been doing, honestly.
They won last week. They actually came back from behind and knocked off Lincoln 22-20 at Lincoln. Again, their quarterback made my top three. He was very efficient. He was completed 80% of his passes. You know what I mean? He had a touchdown or two. So they're doing good things there. They want, like I said, they picked up a road win in Lincoln. Um, but I fortunately for them, I think they're gonna run into a buzzsaw, known as the Westerly Bulldogs.
No, you know what? I'm not even gonna front. I mean, I'm a little biased, but I really,
That and
I
we gotta tell Tuck there he's gotta have another big game so he can make the top three Rhode Island ranked.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely, definitely. Shout out. I remember Zach Tuck coming up through the Pee Wee field. The only kid I seen in Pee Wee that had traps, had like body cut up, comes from a family of bodybuilders.
Oh, jeez.
Mom's in very good shape, So yeah, the kid's a very strong kid, and he's definitely going to be a household name. Yeah, definitely. I really, I see Wesley and St. Ray's being the dominant two in Division Two, but
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what Barrington has to say. But yeah,
Rogers and Coventry. Coventry, I posted this week about the whole Duckin situation, and I'm surprised one of the coach's wife stepped up and really went in on the Coventry administration, saying that we were ready to play that game. We was not allowed to play.
yeah. That
You
that whole
know?
that whole situation was odd, right? Because they said they couldn't play because they were in contact with some COVID kids from Mount Pleasant, and then yet Mount Pleasant played their game. So it didn't make any sense. I mean, I hope people aren't ducking and all this. It needs to be looked into. At the very least, they need to correct it for next season, because that's insane.
Yeah, and based on her Coventry and based on what she said in her post today was that we were ready to play. The administration said we couldn't because we had a case against Mount Pleasant, and then we look up on the scoreboard later and we see Mount Pleasant is playing
Yeah.
West Warwick. Now I heard the Department of Health contacted both schools and gave them both the okay. Whether that happened or whether it didn't happen, hold on, Felix, 1 second. I gotta get this call. Yeah, I mean, I hope that's not the case, but so Rogers and Coventry, who do you like for that game?
I like Coventry there.
All right, so we get to the next game. EG Woonsocket High School. Woonsocket right now, they had a good game last week against Cranston East. They won that game, but I heard they lost a couple players this week. Who do you like? But wasn't Woonsocket playing? Oh no, okay. Why did Emerson have Hendricken and Woonsocket on the schedule for this weekend?
I'm not sure. That's next week though.
Okay, okay. I'll have to straighten that out with him. So EG and Woonsocket.
I like EG there. They got a really great quarterback in Park Hadiski. Tell you what, he was obviously overwhelmed when they played Hendricken. So he didn't get to really showcase what he can do. But he first play of that game, he connected on about a 50-yard pass right down the sideline. Um, and so again, he wasn't able to showcase his talents really against Hendricken, but I think he will here, against Woonsocket. And I'll
Play my
I'll
game now.
I'll be honest. I was surprised when Socket struggled the way they did against Cranston East. Um, so that doesn't bode well for Woonsocket going forward. Maybe it was just a bad game, but either way, they got the W, they got the win. Um, but if they had problems with East, Cranston East, they're gonna have their hands full against East Greenwich, who I know is chomping at the bit to get a W after they took a shellacking last week against Henderson.
Woonsocket's small. Woonsocket's small. They're young right now. They're rebuilding, so we'll see. NK and East Providence.
NK and East Providence. I'm going to go NK there. Again, very well coached team. Love their offense. They're all about tossing the ball all game. They don't even try to run over there, which is pretty funny. East Providence is, with their new coach Stringfellow, they're still trying to find themselves. They're struggling a little bit, and that will continue because NK will win that game.
A 7 p.m. game at West Warwick High School. You're going to have Scituate and Davies Career Tech. I mean, Davies had a good game against EWG. EWG did everything to screw that game up. Everything they did to screw that game. You had a kid fumble, and there wasn't even nobody around them.
Yeah, Davies, for a third-year program, they're doing their thing, and I think they will pick up the victory here against Scituate. Their quarterback actually did something very rare on my Rhode Island ranked. He made top 3 quarterbacks of the week, and then he also made top 3 defensive players of the week in the same week. You know what I mean? He came out, he threw a couple of touchdown passes, and then he also came out and returned a 70-yard interception for a touchdown. So that's how he got rewarded on both sides of the ball. His name is Antonio Cabral, I believe.
Yep.
And he's off to a great start. I can see that continuing. So I think the Patriots here will win that game.
And if you make Rhode Island ranked, we'll put all the names together at the end of the season, and we'll figure something out too. We'll actually pick a winner. We'll come on the show. We'll figure it out. We'll pick a winner in each category.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we'll give them a pair of socks. No, we'll figure something out to give them. We'll give them subscribe. I'll give you $1 back. Does that sound good?
Maybe we'll get them a subscription to your son's newspaper.
There you go. Subscribe. Cranston East and Portsmouth.
Portsmouth coming off a tough loss against Central. There was a lot of controversy in that game, the way that ended.
Yes.
The Hail Mary pass from Ben Hurd. A lot of people thought that was a catch in the end zone. Some people say it wasn't. I know I posted up on my Rhode Island ranked page, and people were going back and forth with that. But at the end of the day, Central got the win. Also, what a lot of people aren't talking about is the run. Actually, the first touchdown that Portsmouth scored with Ben Hurd. Because when you see that replay, it looks like
that's controversy.
Yeah, he did not cross. I don't think.
No, hey, talk to Coach Washington. Coach Washington said, "I never want to see that play again."
Yeah, when they showed that again, it clearly looked like he did not cross into the end zone.
Yeah, you hear from what Coach Washington said. He was like, And another game that got ducked was Tolman in Classical High School. And the league went out of their way to actually put COVID, close contact situation, postponed. But all these games get postponed, and they never end up happening.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Well, let's run through the rest of these games real quick, so I got to kind of run and get my wife. Tollgate and Middletown.
Got to go with Middletown there. Tollgate, unfortunately, they've been struggling, and they've been struggling for a while now. Until they prove otherwise, it's tough to pick them. So I'm going to go with Middletown there, who actually had a nice win last week, I believe, against Central Falls. But 18-10 win over Central Falls last week. So they I see them winning this week here, so that should put them on a good little streak.
Well, let's go over to Central Falls. Central Falls and Charahoe, man. Charahoe playing a good game against Westerly. They destroy North Smithfield, Mount St. Charles, and then it's slowing down for Charahoe, it seems. Central Falls, Charahoe, who you like?
Where's that game playing at?
That game is at Macomber Stadium.
Yes, home of the Warriors. That's my school.
Warriors.
Football. Come out and play. But I'm gonna go with the Warriors on that one. They played They played a tough game against Middletown, so they're going to be looking to get into the win column here.
The
And
upset of the week, Hope and Pontigansett.
Hope and wow. Now Hope actually played a very tough game last week against Smithfield. Actually, it was 30-22, and I was surprised to see that score as close as it was. But Pontigansett, I believe, is too strong for Hope. Hope coming off. I mean, Pontigansett coming off a big, I think, 53-0 blowout win over was it North Providence? I think.
Yeah. They put 53 up, kept their starters in late in the game.
Yeah, so I'd expect more of the same this week here.
I mean, I know Pontigansett got their focus set on the Situate game. I heard Jimmy McCook made shirts. I don't know how true it is, but that's going to be an interesting game as well. So Burrillville and Cranston West.
Burrillville, Cranston West. I'm going to go Burrillville here. Cranston West is struggling. Burrillville coming off a loss, I believe, to NK. So they're going to be chomping at the bit. Very well coached team there. Top quarterback in the league in West Canoia. So I think they'll find the W column this week.
St. Ray's and West Warwick. That game, the time was changed, but it looks like that game is still going on. St. Ray's got ducked last week. Allegedly, they're playing, West Pennington. I like the way he's playing football. Shout out Coach Michael Cook over there saying he likes Pono this week. I am surprised, Coach Cook. But St. Ray's and West Warwick, who you like?
Gotta go with St. Ray's. I'm doing it again. I'm betting against West, and hopefully I'm wrong again. We'll see. Last week I bet against West, and he took down Mount Pleasant. He slayed Goliath there because no one saw that coming.
LaSalle playing another out of town game. LaSalle and Marshfield gonna be at LaSalle Stadium.
Yep, that should be a good game. Marshfield, I believe, is ranked 10th in Massachusetts. So I'm gonna, and that game is in Marshfield, correct? I'm gonna go with LaSalle in this game.
That's what I said, Coach Eddie. I want a shirt too. I said, do I get one? I want an extra large. You hear that, Coach Cook? We need shirts. We need some shirts. And then Moses Brown and Lincoln. That game will be at Moses Brown. Another game time change, but that's going to be at 3:30 p.m.
I like Moses Brown there. They pulled the upset win over Classical. Look them to take that momentum and take it to Lincoln.
I mean, as far as I know, the Mount Pleasant Barrington game is not going on, but they did put a time change for October 1st, just for shits and giggles. Who do you like, Mount Pleasant or Barrington?
I'm gonna go with Barrington. West Warwick there. DeAndre. What's his last name? The running back there, DeAndre Chase out of West Warwick. He rushed for 200 yards against Mount Pleasant, and that doesn't bode well for them because Barrington runs that triple option, and so I think Mount Pleasant might be exposed there.
All right, well, we handled it. Now I got to run and get my wife. Uncle Felix, thank you very much. I appreciate you coming on every week. We'll definitely talk next week. Look out for Uncle Felix's Rhode Island rank. See if you made his top 3 of the week over on Instagram. Until next week, thank you, Uncle Felix. Have a good one.
Yes, sir.
Well, there we have it, Uncle Felix. Shout out Mark Wright, Coldwell Bank of Coastal Homes. Give Mark a call. You're looking to buy a house. Tell him your boy Mikey sent you, man. Definitely shout out what Emerson Kill got going on over there, 401 Strength and Fitness. Don't forget, check it out tomorrow. Westerly Bulldogs, Mount Hope Huskies, kickoff 7 p.m. Watch that game on fansonlysports.com. You can catch the highlights on NBC 10, man. And if you're looking to get recruited, give Ronnie Roberts a call and check out our Tuesday show, Voice Nation, where we go all over the United States talking to youth and high school coaches all over the Jizoint. But we out of here.
Nervous with butterflies in your stomach. Don't try to intimidate me. You couldn't scare me with